your case here, the fugitive case, remains in a holding pattern.
Right.
So the time that South Carolina would normally need to come get you. Coming up, Mr. Dunham. All right, guys, I'm gonna ask you, please keep it down. Morning, Mr. Dunham. How's jail?
Terrible.
Great. That makes me happy. Because you gotta understand, the worse of an experience you have, the higher likelihood when you do eventually get out, you'll think, if I do this, what's gonna happen? If I say this, what's gonna happen? Because that is the most important thing. You gotta understand, we value public safety. It's really, really important to us. So you're here now because it looks like you picked up a case out of state and you want me to set you a bond. Is this right?
Yes, sir.
You need to understand that my only concern are two things. Number one, are you a danger to my public? And number two, if we set you a bond, are you going to go back to the jurisdiction that you wanted from?
Yes, sir.
Those are the two things that I'm concerned about. So what's he wanted for out of state?
He's wanted out of South Carolina for robbery.
Robbery?
Yes, Judge. State would be opposed to a bond. He's currently has an open case of engaging in organized criminal activity. He's also on deferred for a third-degree felony theft, which he has not yet made the bond collectively of $50,000. He's also had a prior evading with a motor vehicle, misdemeanor evading motor vehicle, criminal mischief, and a theft. And it looks like based on the dates of each charge is that they're slowly escalating. It started with catalytic converters where he's using electric saws to steal them, but in the last evading is that he was also driving a stolen vehicle, and obviously now he's using weaponry or threats. And so based on the fact that from 2022 to now that he has been charged at least 6 times, 3 of which are felonies, and the fact that he has 2 open cases that he has not yet made bond on, is that he's a definition of a flight risk and safety risk. So I would be opposed to it.
Judge, Mr. Dunham is requesting a bond because he has finals on Monday.
Finals?
Is a sophomore, major in nursing at Southern University in Baton Rouge.
Are you really in school? Really? But you're in Houston. You have finals on Monday? Keep it down, please. I'm going to read something to you real quick, okay? And this is from what I'm reading now. This is from the magistrate. Motion for bond conditions, Harris County, none. Defendant has a hold. 10/16/24. Officers conduct an undercover sting crime suppression operation to catch suspects who are engaged in organized criminal activity, bank juggings. Officers use bait victims, undercover officers posing as bank customers, and bait vehicles. 3 suspect co-defendants, DeLeon Dunham, Messiah DeLeon Dunham, and Treventi DeMarcus Hilliard attempt a bank jugging on 1 bait car, but are unable to break the window. Shortly thereafter, they conduct a bank jugging on a second bait car, and this time break the window, bus signal given, and the officers execute a vehicle containment technique and a felony stop and apprehension. All 3 suspects, defendant in possession of criminal instruments. You're on probation for a 3rd-degree felony. You have an open robbery out of a different state. Let me ask you again. Do you really want me to set you a bond?
I was just asking.
No. You got to understand, at some point, we really, really value our public safety. Mr. Dunham, we are going to do everything in our power to protect it. And if I give you a bond, you may very well pick up did you say 6? How many charges?
Total in the course of the last 2.5 some odd years.
6?
6.
Sometimes we have to protect people from themselves because of their own cost. So, Mr. Dunham, I'm sorry, but I really think that you are a complete danger to our public, so I can't do it.
All right.
I'm sorry, but
The local is likely going to get reset for Tuesday, then reset again. He's set for preliminary appearance upstairs, so it's just an arraignment, but it's likely going to get kicked out again for discovery. And so I'm just
here's the deal, though. You need to understand that you have not made bond on your felony case. Okay, well, here's the deal. The problem is that while you have not made bond, your case here, the fugitive case, remains in a holding pattern. So the time that South Carolina would normally need to come get you is told until you make bond on that felony case. The other thing is this, is that you're also on, Dave, where was he on felony probation from?
On deferred adjudication out of the 338th District Court for a third-degree felony theft.
I wonder why I can't even see that. I don't, have they issued a motion to revoke on that one as well?
No, they set, well, for some reason, it says to hold on JWeb, but it doesn't show it on.
It's just from a couple of days ago. I'm assuming they're just filing the MAJ today.
On the,
Is that what you see, Dave?
Oh, you're right. They haven't filed the MAJ yet, but I can't see the processing queue in the 338. So if
So-
they file it, it'll be this weekend.
at some point, they're also probably going to issue another warrant for your arrest because of all these cases now, because you're on probation. So at that point, you'll also probably have to set a bond on that one, or they may not set a bond. I don't know.
Right.
How old are you?
20.
You're 20?
All right.
Going the wrong way, Mr. Dunham. You're really, really begging for a lengthy prison sentence, dude. That's it. Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
thanks.
Judge.
I think Mr. Levine was here earlier and approached for him.
Yeah.
I think Your Honor sent him to do a drug test. I believe those results came back negative.
Okay, come up, sir. Did intake say anything about this case?
They couldn't tell why it wasn't signed correctly, Judge. I asked the 248 if they had time to approach their judge this morning about the PC, and I have not heard back, so. And we can certainly take it into grand jury or go upstairs.
Well, no, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a whole host of conditions on him. You know, I'm gonna tell you now, you're lucky that you're here. You know, one false move in this very short life that we have, you could be spending the next 40 to 50 years of your life in a 6x9 box. One false move. It is a real travesty that a lot of people have guns and there's just no need. You know, when you use and when you have something like that, a short second, you can kill someone. And when that happens, your life's over. Multiple lives are over. Multiple families are over in the short second of something so stupid as an argument. When you make a decision like that, it's a lifetime decision that you can never crawl out of, never walk away from. Think before you act. Sometimes you have but a nanosecond to do it. But I'm going to tell you now, Mr. Cormier, I'm going to do everything in my power to protect the public. Do you understand? I'm putting a GPS monitor and I don't want you out in the middle of the night. Do you understand? You have a weapon. You pick up any type of weapon, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months every single time. Do you understand? Because it's an offense in and of itself. I had him sign an affidavit that he's not supposed to have any weapons, and I'm going to give him a curfew, and I don't want him to hang out with any bad, irreputable people. No. What are you doing with yourself now? Are you working, going to school?
I work.
Where?
Oh,
Doing what? What are your hours?
7 to 9.
Okay, you have a 10 p.m. curfew. Do you understand? 10 p.m. to you work, you said what time you work? 6?
7
7? Okay, 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
10 to 6 a.m. is your curfew. You must charge this thing on a daily basis. If the battery goes dead, so does your bond. Do you understand? All right. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
I would be on the lookout because I'm telling you now, it's just a moment's notice before you get hit with 2 felony warrants. So you better be on the lookout. It's going to happen any minute. Gets the device today. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. Thanks.
How much time?
Oh, reset.
Yeah, I mean, the case is 250 days old. So I'll give you 30 days now. But at that time, you got to come back. You got to tell us what you want to do. We set cases for trial at 180 days. Your case is now 200 and what? Yeah, you have 30 days. At that time, you got to be back here and let me know what you want to do. You must either accept a plea bargain agreement or I'm going to set your case for trial. Do you understand? Okay, Steph,
To be honest with you, Your Honor, I don't believe I've looked at the district.
I know that you haven't looked at it, but
Looking at.
please, okay, done.
All right, thanks, Judge.
Hey, good morning.
Morning, Judge.
Hi. Hey. All right, let me just send this. Okay, what's the last name again?
BS.
Yes. Okay. Is he waiving extradition?
So he has waived extradition on the 16th, 2 days ago. 14 days have started for Tennessee to come pick him up. However, I would like to approach to see if we can give him a bond here in this county so that he can not have to wait the 14 days and instead go turn himself into Tennessee himself instead of waiting in jail for them.
State would be opposed. This defendant was previously apprehended in Austin, and he was given an opportunity to return to Tennessee. He was arrested on July 21st, 2024, where he was simultaneously charged with theft from person, which is similar to the charges he's wanted out of Tennessee, which are 3 felonies, 2 credit card fraudulent use, and 1 theft of property. Oh, sorry, the theft of property is a misdemeanor. But since that time, he has not made efforts, at least that I can see from our side, and he's been apprehended once again here in Houston for the same warrant.
So they gave him the opportunity to go back and he didn't go back.
If I may, Judge, so here in Houston, he was picked up, he's been going to sign paperwork at the immigration office 2 weeks every month, I don't know, but on a periodic basis, and he was picked up there. So that's why he's here in Houston. Inquired, hey, what happened to the Austin case? They gave you an opportunity to go, and what am I supposed to tell the judge? He's like, well, yes, I understood that. I posted the bond of $5,000 out there, but my lawyer told me, don't go to Tennessee until we take care of the Austin cases. It sounds like there's an Austin case theft from person from 721 is what they said. And so the advice he got over there is, don't go to Tennessee till we take care of your Austin case. Now, at that point, it sounds like, I don't know as to how great of
But they
advice
ended up
that
taking
was.
care of it.
Taking care of the case? I don't know if it's
Austin.
currently, I don't know if it's pending or not. I can't see that.
I just show it's held as open, but I haven't checked the status of it.
Okay, so even so, he left Austin and came here.
Right, and I asked him, hey, why didn't you go take care of Tennessee? Well, my lawyer told me not to.
I think you have an open case here. You've got an open case in Austin. You've got an open case in Tennessee.
He lives in Houston. He lives in Houston. That's why he was here
He
in
just had a
signing.
DWI here.
Yeah, so he was told not to handle the Tennessee thing until he handles the Austin stuff, which he thought would be tomorrow or something, is tomorrow. And so that's a mistake. Yeah, I would say, hey, you should have gone to figure that out over there, but it sounds like it wasn't, he's not trying not to comply. He was told differently, is what he tells me. And how smart that was, I don't know, but now we're in a situation where I'm asking for a bond.
I'm not gonna give you a bond. No. You've already shown us that you're not gonna go back. You're here. You should be in Tennessee. You are in Houston. You should be in Tennessee. But you should be in Tennessee. How do I know that?
The number of my lawyer so you can,
Where?
well, you can speak with
I'm
my
not
lawyer.
gonna call your lawyer. No.
The attorney in Houston, I was helping, I have an open case in Houston,
En Austin lo tengo acá. Es lo que te
in
digo.
Austin.
El juez me dio fianza y estoy
I
bajo
was
fianza.
given bond on Thursday.
I think that you're just too big of a flight risk, Mr. Diaz Valdez.
Riesgo de que usted huya,
I'm
señor.
scared that if I were to give you a bond, I don't think that you would go back to Tennessee.
Que regresaría a Tennessee.
Pero si yo no lleno.
The last date appearance he had in Austin was today.
Oh, sorry. I can't. You just,
Okay, I'll stay here.
we're gonna wait till Tennessee comes and gets you this time.
And if they don't come pick me up,
Well, then we'll release you. I don't know. Get him?
Yes, but it might be worth reaching out to.
Let's do this. Let's do
hagamos
this.
esto.
I don't want to say no yet.
Quiero decir no.
Ricardo, if you can reach out to the defense lawyer in Austin, see what he has to say, because it looks like he's throwing the lawyer, so, but let's see, what if it's true? I don't know. Do you mind reaching out to the lawyer and see what he has to say?
I'm trying to pull that number right now. I don't think we're pulling that number right now. And it's not, he doesn't know it right now. Otherwise, I would put the call in right now.
Do you know your lawyer's name and number?
Nombre y número.
El nombre sí, pero yo.
I can get the number, I can call my partner to get it, but I do know the name.
Aquí el abogado, hablo
Okay.
con el abogado.
The immediate.
Oh, no, that's gonna be a huge headache.
Right, that's why,
Yeah.
if you're gonna call
Estar
me.
encima
I
de
wish I had that number right now.
That same thing that you're
No,
gonna be
no,
sick
llamó.
90 days.
Yeah.
You need to try to get the number for your lawyer to Ricardo so that Ricardo can reach out to him. Okay, at the minimum, and also come back Monday to try to figure out what's going on. But the problem is that if you're supposed to be there today and you're now in custody here instead of over there, they're gonna revoke the bond over there. And then you're gonna have this interstate compact deal. and you're probably sitting in there for the next 90 days now,
Probablemente estaría
give or take. I mean,
estarías ahí.
you're supposed to stay in Austin, go to court in Austin, so that you take care of those things. When you come here to a different county, you run the risk of getting
Tiene el
picked up,
riesgo de que sea-
and there begins a whole host of other problems.
My wife spoke with the lawyer
A juez.
and the
Oh.
lawyer was trying to contact the judge in Austin, telling them that I was detained.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, so
Okay.
hopefully you guys can get the
Esperamos de que podamos-
name and number to Ricardo. Ricardo can reach out to them to.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi,
Thank you so much. I am here on Devin Shamlin, and I was appointed this morning.
with an S.
Yes, S.
Why is he still in jail? Oh, he's got the felony case upstairs.
Yes, Judge.
Yeah, he's at no bond on the unlawful possession, and it's set for December.
Judge, I wanted to see if we could review probable cause.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Alex.
On October 16th, 2024, the officer conducted CCTV surveillance at 647 Greens Road in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed the defendant flag down a motor vehicle, enter the passenger side of the motor vehicle, and exit within approximately 10 seconds. The officer located and detained the defendant for a narcotics investigation. The officer observed a Starburst candy bag on the floor containing multiple small red plastic bags filled with a green leafy substance identified as marijuana based on the officer's training experience. The officer reviewed surveillance showing the defendant in possession of the candy bag and placing it on the floor. The weight of the marijuana was 14 grams or 0.49 ounces.
So because he goes into a car and gets out, like briefly thereafter, he just goes up and starts searching him?
Your Honor, the officer was part of a proactive task force and
I
he
get
saw
it.
him enter in the vehicle and exit within a short period of time, reflecting in
I
his
say, I
training.
do that with my friends all the time. I go in, hey, dude, how you doing? And then I
Your
used to
Honor,
do it all the time in high school.
the officer recognized that as a potential drug transaction.
I'm with you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, no PC,
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
for sure.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll just,
I don't mind doing it.
is it can?
Can, yes.
Okay.
Hold on, let me see. Jillian, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's do it. Come on, let me just get them out. Jermaine Brown, come on up. What? Why?
The felony,
Come on, man. Oh, does it avoid a felony?
yes.
Okay, that's big. That's something different. You know, you're killing yourself, killing yourself. Life is difficult as it is. Who you are, where you are in this world. And the more things you pick up like this, all you do is you make life more difficult for yourself. I bet you said that after the first time. Now we're operating on number 4. You're on felony probation for a very serious case and you've picked up 2 different cases. There's only a matter of time before they put you into prison, man. So one gets dismissed, he's pleading on one, and they keep him on probation? Is that what's going on?
He just started the felony probation.
Oh, I see, that's what,
Went to that.
okay. So you need to understand that these are enhanceable offense, meaning that at least one of these will end up on your record. And if you keep picking up these theft cases, number 1, you're going to be looked at as a thief for the rest of your life. Number 2, they'll hit you up with another felony. If you continue to pick up theft cases, they can enhance you to a felony. So you got to just, it's not worth it. You're giving up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this, you can never change this or undo this. No deferred. Jillian, they didn't offer deferred.
Yeah, so he's asking me about the felony case. When I spoke with Michael about it last week, he didn't want to do a double deferred. He thought that he should take something on the misdemeanor and he gets to avoid the felony.
I'm all for it.
I could talk to her, see.
Just anti-theft, cut them loose.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys are,
Yeah.
just hang tight, Mr. Brown. This is not a good thing for you. Just hang tight.
Hey, Judge, do you?
I don't know. I've got someone. Yes. Okay.
Hello, this is Nadine, the Tagalog interpreter.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for coming.
All right, thank you.
Take a seat for me, Mr. Brown. Do you want to? Yeah.
Okay, page 17.
What language is?
Camelon, it's a Polynesian.
Ms. Gonzalez, good morning.
Good morning, Judge.
Okay, so you will faithfully translate everything, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You are Mr. Ponseca. Okay, Ms. Gonzalez, you're up, okay?
Yes.
Mr.
Ikaw po
Ponseca,
si...
Yes po.
Okay. He said yes.
you are charged with two cases.
Na-charge ka po ng dalawang bagay.
You are charged with possession or use of a criminal instrument and evading arrest.
I'm sorry, Judge. Can you repeat the number 2?
Possession or use of an unlawful criminal instrument.
So she said yes.
You're also charged with evading arrest or detention. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you.
Niyo po.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Yun ang sarili niyo.
Go slow.
Yes, Judge. On October 10th, 2024,
Two bridges, 24.
Officer Assisted Postal Police
Ang isang officer
conducted search warrant at residence. Officers were advised by Postal Police that defendant was believed to be in possession. The defendant was believed to be in possession of stolen mail and criminal instruments. While at rear of residence in full uniform, officers observed the defendant flee.
mamahay nyo.
The defendant disregarded several verbal commands to stop for approximately 40 yards.
Na distansya.
The officer located 4 keys on the defendant's person. The officers also located a butterfly knife with an exposed blade. The officers located numerous master keys, locks, credit cards, and stolen mail in the residence. The defendant stated he paid $50 for the master key and didn't say where he retrieved additional forged keys from.
So, ang sabi nyo daw,
That's all, Your Honor.
What was he doing wrong?
Conducting a search warrant.
Oh, there was a search warrant.
There was a search warrant for the residence. And while they were executing that search warrant, he fled from the building.
so, do I interpret that, Judge?
What was the search for?
It says they were assisting the U.S. Postal Police, doesn't say what the warrant was for.
Was there any person named in the warrant as well, or was there an arrest warrant coupled with the search?
It just says that the Postal Police were advised that the defendant and a co-defendant were believed to be in possession of stolen mail and the criminal instruments. So they may have been, it looks like they were looking for stolen mail and criminal instruments off the search warrant.
They found it.
Yes,
I mean,
Your
what
Honor,
was
they-
a criminal instrument?
Yeah.
And then they ended up charging also a possession of a controlled substance as well.
Yes, Your Honor, and the criminal instrument in this instance was the key, the master key that they found inside, the master mail keys.
Did then and there unlawfully possess a criminal instrument, namely a forged arrowhead key,
Yes, Your Honor.
which said instrument was specifically designed and made and adapted for the commission of the offense of mail theft.
Judge, should I interpret that?
Okay. What about the possession of a controlled substance? How does this play in?
Substance, it looks like while executing the search warrant, they also found a pipe with a burnt end and white powdery substance.
Okay. Mr. Ponseca, I'm going to find there's probable cause to go forward with your case.
So,
I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm also ordering you not to be in possession of any criminal instruments, not to violate any laws of the United States. How old are you, sir?
ayo,
What do you do for a living?
30. He said he's not currently working right now.
Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yo, ano pong status nyo? Oh, he said he's an immigrant.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
Meron ka bang, meron kang saktong papeles? O
Yes,
wala? He said yes, he has.
I don't know, but if you don't, and you go to jail, immigration will put a detainer on you.
So, sabi ng judge, kapag
If you get an immigration detainer, you will sit in custody until all of your criminal cases are over, and then you get shipped off to immigration. You could potentially be sitting in jail for the next year. When is the last time you've had a full-time job?
kailan kuya? He said he cannot remember anymore. When was the time when he had a job?
I can't hear you. Say it again.
He said he cannot remember when was the last time he had a job.
Why not?
He said he forgot already.
You forgot what?
He forgot when was the last time that he had a job.
It is time for you to work. And I'm making that a condition of your bond as well. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If I have to revoke your bond because you violate these conditions, you will not get any more PR bonds. I will have you fill out an application for an appointed lawyer today. Do not put all zeros on the application because I will send it back to you.
No.
Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions with our pretrial services officer as well. Okay, Stephen, do you mind giving an application, please? Okay, that way. Please do not leave, Gonzalez. Miss Gonzalez, I might need you. Okay?
All right, Judge.
Okay, I guess set it off a week. And then will you let him know that we're gonna send him home with the application so he can fill it out and that we'll have him come back in a week and then we can have him speak to a lawyer, please? Miss Gonzalez?
Yes. Kuya? Kuya?
Mr. Blanco here at BVR. He's set for trial on Tuesday.
Okay, where's Mr. Blanco?
He's to your left.
Come up, Mr. Blanco. No, it's not. It's not. You have a bond violation. That's not a good thing, Mr. Blanco.
I think it's just trying to be polite with the.
I get it, but you're telling me it's a good morning. It's not when you have bond violations.
Yes, we spoke to Mr. Blanco about the seriousness of this, and he was transparent with us, Judge, so.
I'm sending him now for a drug and alcohol test. I want to know what, if anything, is in his system. Then I want to know what for, Herman. I mean,
It's probably gonna be marijuana, Judge.
I'm going to have a problem with that, Mr. Blanco. I'm sending you now for a drug and alcohol test.
Yes, he's being transparent with the court that it is gonna
Got
be
it.
marijuana.
We're sending him for a test now and then we'll see him on Monday. He's got to come back Monday
Okay,
and then we'll talk about the results then.
okay, thanks.
Okay, all right,
Yeah, thanks.
okay. Michael. Hey,
Mr. Pierre Simon in court on Monday. We submitted the DBI application and he asked that you ask it for October the 24th.
yeah, he needs to come here so we can send him for the two
Sure.
rounds.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just approaching on a Mr. Edward Trevino. It's a new case today.
Sure.
He is autistic. And so I just kind of met with him and his father, and I explained that he has two cases. He has the DPS driver's license case, and he has this case.
He's
And
gonna
so-
have to hire someone on the DPS.
Right, no, I
case.
understand that.
Right.
I told him that his license will be suspended 40 days from the date. So I don't know if.
Come up.
Just, is it okay if his father comes?
Always.
Since he is disabled, so
That's okay. That's why we gave.
I just want to get on the same
So,
page. Right.
Dad, you got to understand that. So when you pick up a DWI, you have two cases. You've got the criminal case, and then you have an administrative case versus DPS. When you get a court-appointed lawyer, you only get a court-appointed lawyer for the criminal case. You're only entitled to an appointed lawyer in the criminal case. With is what we have here. Your administrative case versus DPS is something to try to save a driver's license. If you want to do that, you're going to have to go hire a lawyer to do that. Okay. We don't appoint lawyers for ALR hearings. So that's something that you're going to have to do. And you got to understand that you also have a very limited time upon which to request, or I mean, I can't give you legal advice. So all I'm going to say is that you have very limited timing requirements that you have to meet. So don't sit and wait a month because you're hurting yourself. You need to get on it quick to hire a lawyer if you plan on doing it for the administrative case.
Right. And I explained all of that to them, but they just said, well, the judge said he's not suspended. And I said, that's different. So
I only give you a lawyer for the criminal case because he's facing 6 months in jail. The other case, he's facing a license suspension. So on that case, you're gonna have to go hire a lawyer. On the administrative license revocation hearing. We can't, I don't want to talk about the case in general. The only thing I'm going to tell you is that there's two cases. You only get a lawyer for the criminal case, not for the administrative case.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you, Judge. I just wanted to clarify.
Sure, of course.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
Judge, am I needed still for Tagalog?
I think is it, the gentleman for the translator? He's gone?
No, he's just waiting for them to sign the bond conditions and that's it.
Okay.
Okay. Give me 1 second just to make sure he understands because he also has a felony case, so I want to make sure that he's not using anything.
Okay. All right, Judge.
Okay, who's after Osorio?
Next, page 7, Earl.
He's back here. Okay. Hey, do you have the results on Earl by chance? Earl? Come up, Mr. Earl. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect the public, Mr. Earl, and I want you to understand that when I have anyone put my public in danger, I put them down. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are not allowed to be out in the middle of the night, and I'm now giving you a curfew, and I'm putting a GPS monitor on your ankle so I know that you're not out. You will get a curfew of 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. You're ordered not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. The most important thing in your life now is do not drive. Do you understand?
Yes,
Under
Your Honor.
any circumstance, are you allowed to drive? Because this is a very short life, and it really sucks spending the next 6 months in a 6x9 box. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because I've already have you sign an affidavit. I can and will have a hearing on whether to hold you in contempt if I find that you drive for any reason. I don't care what your excuse is. I don't care if you have to save anyone and take them to the hospital. It doesn't matter. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long ago did he?
Well, testing took an extended period of time because the lab was having trouble providing the sample for a while, so the sample was just given.
Okay, let's get him ready on his bond conditions now, that we can have him sign it and get everything ready. 3 days. Yeah, correct. Random UAs. And then depending on what the test says, if he tests positive for marijuana, he gets another test in 40 days. If he tests positive for something more illicit, then I guess we'll have to approach that bridge when it gets there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, take a seat for me, Mr. Earl. Yeah. Okay, Ms. Gonzalez, are you ready to finish this up? Come up.
Yes, I'm here, Judge.
Okay, so if you can tell him that he's not allowed to use alcohol or drugs, random testing, and not to be in possession of any weapons or criminal instruments.
Kuya, naririnig niyo ako? Okay, so bawal.
I need him to sign it to me over there.
Okay, anyone else? Oh, come on, it's time to go play Fortnite. Let's go. Come on. Huh? Come on, man, I'm itching to
Give me
go
your approach,
play.
Judge. We're approaching on Mr. Wiggins. He's in custody.
Okay,
Um,
Sterling,
yes.
whatever happened with Mr. Wiggins?
Well, Mr. Wiggins has some bond conditions to not speak to a complaining witness in an ag assault with a deadly weapon and an ag assault family member. He then went to jail and called her twice and her mom.
I mean, what more can we do? Really?
Take the phone away.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. We'll do
He also called not only under his own name, but he also called under 3 other inmates' names.
Have you alerted the felony courts?
I just found out about this. The deputy actually called all of us to let us know that this happened.
Guys, oh, yeah, do you mind bringing out Mr. Wiggins, please? Sterling Wiggins. I'm gonna take his phone privileges away now.
Okay, and Judge, these are serious allegations, but I need to point out that Mr. Wiggins is 19, and you're also taking away his ability to communicate with his family.
We told him not to do it. He's doing it. I mean, what else can we, he's pull the records. Is he trying to thwart it? You know, pull the phone records. If he's trying to thwart it, then you get him with an obstruction.
The deputy is going through Veris to get transcripts of the calls, so we will have those transcripts soon. The deputy just called me and let me know that the defendant was contacting the complainant and her mother and saying that this is how you take care of things and that everybody violates their bond conditions. And
Let's hold on, wait till he's out here so he can hear this. Good morning, Mr. Wiggins. How's jail? It's come to my attention that you are violating the conditions that we set out in this court, flaunting it and trying to get a hold of the complaining witnesses in these cases when we've told you not to. Go ahead.
yes, Judge, the deputy called me this morning and said that The defendant has called the complaining witness twice and the mother of the complaining witness as well. The deputy told me that while listening to these phone calls, he heard the defendant and say things such as, "This is how you take care of things," and that everybody violates their bond conditions and talks to the complainants in these cases. He also heard the defendant make statements saying that he was going to continue to violate bond, and once he gets out, he was going to hire an attorney, but he had previously learned that the defendant was indigent, and so he took this to mean that the defendant was going to commit other criminal acts to get money to hire an attorney.
Can you please notify the other courts as well that are
I
so that they know as well?
Yes, Judge. I just sent a full email to the felony prosecutor in case the deputy hadn't already alerted her. I just went ahead and did it. The deputy, again, is getting the transcripts for these calls, and that the defendant has been using 3 separate inmate spin codes. That would be Jermaine Brown, Mark Diaz, and Dennis Compton.
Your privileges are hereby revoked. You are not allowed to use the jail phone at all from now on. Do you understand? I think that you are continuing to threat to the public even while being in jail. So your privileges to use the phones at all are hereby revoked.
Judge, I just,
She
again,
just told you.
please stop.
So
And I just want to reiterate.
Please, go ahead.
He's
Yeah.
19, you are taking away his ability to communicate with his family.
But he's making additional threats allegedly, you know? Okay, we're gonna get the records, but until I know that you're not a threat, I mean,
He's typing everything.
every single thing that you say on the phone is recorded.
I know that, so why would I be on it threatening people?
We'll find out, because I'm gonna ask, could you mind please pulling all the records, getting all the phone calls, and we'll play them out here in court, and we'll see. And if it's not, then I will gladly give you your phone privileges back, but there have deputies that have pinpointed you allegedly, you and using other people's spin numbers to make phone calls, to make continuing threats, and to further criminality if and when you get out. I don't want you to say anything. That's okay. We're going to find out, because I'm going to have them pull all the records, pull all the phone calls, and we'll listen to everything.
Judge, I will also say that the defendant told the complaining witness, this is about the ag assault involving the firearm, that when she got shot, the defendant said that's what happens when you hang out with gangsters.
So pull all that stuff, you know?
somehow, so I ultimately got on that case too. Spoke with the state. There's still some discovery outstanding. Even the offense report, strange because it's HPD, so we don't have that either. So they're unable to make a rec or anything at this time. I'm comfortable with him on bond, Judge, based on what he shared with me, that he is being treated by these folks. And I wanted to just get him out of the jury box so we can prepare his defense and move on from there. But last time you had some concerns, so I just wanted to make sure that we talked.
We let him out, he picks up cases, and then he doesn't show up. I mean, he's here today, but I guess we should be thankful for that. But I mean, it's just, how do I know he's doing what he's doing? You know?
He said he would, and he did.
What I'd like to do is I want to send him for a drug test to know if he's clean. And then, if he's clean, we'll continue bond. If he's not, then figure out where to go.
Well, what I do know is that he was treated for, apparently sustained some injuries while in jail, bad injuries. Went to Methodist. So I would imagine anything that you would find would be something that would be prescribed.
Come up, Mr. Wiggins. They're not going to do a prescription for cocaine or meth, though.
Understood. Yeah, sir. And just also to share with you.
Yes, sir.
This appears to be a mental health treatment and addiction therapy facility where he.
Two cars in the middle took off at a high rate of speed at approximately 100 miles per hour. A traffic stop was initiated on defendant Earl's vehicle. During the traffic stop, officer observed that the entirety of the inside of the vehicle was removed except the driver's seat. Defendant Earl admitted to participating in the race. Another officer conducted a traffic stop on the other participating car. That occupant also admitted to participating in a drag race.
You said there were happening to the other two.
Your Honor, there are no other connected cases, just the two.
Mr. Earl, this is your second racing case. I am now taking away your privilege to drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive. And if I find that you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get into a car and drive. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do not drive. I don't care what you're doing in your life. I don't care where you have to go, what you have to do. I now also am sending you for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system, and then you're to come right back. If I find that you don't take the test, if you don't come back, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Take a seat.
I do have a question. May I have a reset to hire my attorney? I wasn't able to hire him today.
We will get there.
Okay.
First things first, I'm sending you for a drug test because I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. But first, you'll come up here and swear to us that you're not going to drive. Mr. Flores, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm going to tell you now, living in a city as big as Houston without the ability to drive, it's an awful thing. Do not participate in these types of things again. Otherwise, I will take your privilege to drive away from you. Do you understand? You will be signing conditions with me today, promising me that you're not going to race, street takeovers, donuts, reckless driving, any of the like. If I find that you do, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand? Can you file conditions on both of their cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Racing and the like?
Yes, Your
Yeah. All right. I'm going to have you go over, or did you check for both of the licenses to see if do you have a Texas driver license? Do you have liability insurance in your name? Okay, if you can run both of their licenses as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
So for now, I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria. After that, we'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go. When you come back, please have a lawyer, sir.
I have a lawyer.
Oh,
Yeah.
who is it?
David Lee.
Got it. Okay. Mr. Lee's going to be here, so we're going to have you wait till he gets here. So we'll have you sign a reset, take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign the bond conditions.
Okay.